good. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You're from Austin, I assume Texas, right?
Yes, I am.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what are you hope to learn from tonight?
I just hope to learn some like new skills and like apply those skills and like take notes on those skills so that I can like practice any skills or new lessons or just new like content I learned so that I could just apply them and like just learn them and like experience them and just have them like in my mind so that I
Right.
could um use them later on in my future.
All right, all right. So congratulations for being in this step of the process right now with Brady working with you. All right. So I think I'm seeing Schlock. I think is that's how I pronounce your name. All right, fix
Uh,
me.
it's look.
Schluck, right?
Yes, that's
All
correct.
right. Great. So what make sure you to change your name later for the right format. But who invited you today, and what do you hope to learn today?
It was Betty, and for this meeting, I'm just hoping to learn how to make, uh, just how to learn about more skills and how to make money through the B quadrant. And yeah,
Interesting. All right. That's great. That's great. Right. So last person I think is Samantha. Hello, Samantha. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So who's invited you, and what are you expected to learn here tonight?
I was invited by Van, and I'm hoping to learn a little more about um, the business, what kind of skills you can learn, how you can take those with you in the future, maybe more about what the mentorship would be like, if that's what they're going to be talking about, and just kind of details of the business.
All right, beautiful. I'm great to hear that from you. So we don't have enough time to go over all the candidates today, but if you guys are invited for today's second look meetings, you guys are maybe show something with the person who are working with you in the process, and they're willing to take you here today so that you can actually learn a little bit deeper about this business opportunity. So let me go over a little bit about what is actually a second look meeting. So for those who are IBOs and that candidates that already been in the process for a little bit of time, this is not our usual PACE meeting that we usually have on our Friday each week. But today we are having something special, which is a second look meeting, the first one of the month. So this meeting is a chance for you to have a second look, basically a deeper look in this business opportunity. As you know, that we are partnering and working with the Amway company and also with the BWW mentorship system. So for today meeting, you guys are going to have a chance to look deeper into this business opportunity to see more than just the income you can make, but also you can see the bigger pictures of this business, the potential that this business can bring to you. And also there are more and more intangible results, because last Tuesday, I remember in Phil team evaluation, Phil and Luna, Phil said one thing, where a lot of people look and judge and evaluate this business without any business experience, not even learning about the business, or some people not even start the business before. So they do not look at this business in the lens of a true business owner and see how much it can benefit them. So therefore, we have tonight with so amazing line of speaker who are experienced, knowledgeable, and have a lot to share with you guys so that you guys can see this business in a true lens of a business owner, so you can actually evaluate this business the right way and see how much it can actually brings you, how much it can actually a good of a vehicle so that it can help you in the future. So I'm very excited because our speaker is so ready and they are going to share with you. So make sure you have your notes and pen ready. Listen to them carefully, see what they have to share, because they're gonna share their whole heart. So if you guys are excited, I'm going to bring up our first speaker of tonight. Okay, the first speaker of tonight has a background in military as a petroleum engineer. He's working for the US military right now with more than 5 years of experience in business. In this business opportunity, he run this business with a lot of and achieved the level of silver. So with all that experience, he's going to share with you a lot of values, the intangible values in this business, and something that you can only obtain other than just money, there are more things that you can only obtain through this Amway business opportunity. Right. So with that, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Put your hands together. Are you ready? We're gonna have Mr. LV on the stage.
Let's Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? Awesome.
Amazing.
Tina, Samantha. Right. It's nice to meet you today. I'm gonna introduce myself again. My name is Law, but you can call me LV. And I'm currently working. I'm in the military, active duty, and it's been 3 years in active duty, man. As the patrol engineer, and also that's my 9 to 5. But in 5 to 12, I also the business owner, and I am the entrepreneur. Then this is what I commit my life to do for, right? So tonight, I will share with you my topic is going to be why did I decide to choose Amway as my career? Why did I decide to all in the Amway, right? What kind of reward, what kind of the outcomes that Amway is going to offer for me and for you and for all the candidates here. And again, I want to say congratulations on the candidate that you make this far to the citizen process. You guys are top 10% of out of everybody, right? So all right, let's get into it. Let me share my screen.
Let's go.
All right, can you guys see it? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hold on, let me 1 second. Let me set this out. So, all right, guys. So, and anything we do, right? So we say that it has to be begin with the end in mind, right? And why did I decide to choose Amway? And why? What would be the reason why you should decide to all in Amway, right? So in the minute 1, minute 2, people always say that you gotta be able to identify your destiny before you choose a vehicle, right? And this is today I will share with you what kind of destiny, what kind of reward is they gonna the Amway gonna offer, right? Second slide. First one, reward, right? And this is the award and recognitions. There's so many level in Amway business. There's silver, gold, platinum. On the left hand side, found a platinum, ruby. And this is the example of the IBO earning. And this is talk about money, right? Q12 platinum. What does it mean? Q12 platinum is mean that you'll be able to put together a team about 35 to 50 people. That generate around $20,000 a month, and you keep that consistently in 12 months, and your income is going to be around 60K. That's the average, right? And Founder Emerald, what that means is you help 3 people to achieve the level called Q12 Platinums, and that's how you achieve Emerald, and your income is around $135,000, right? And the Founder Diamonds is you help 6 people. You help 6 people achieve the Q12 Platinums, and you make $500,000 a year. And there's more than that. It's gonna be EDC. It's gonna be double diamonds, triple diamonds, crown ambassador. It's gonna be more and more, right? So when I talk about money, what would be the reason why that I decided to do Amway? What would be the reason why I choose business? Because you cannot get rich by working as a job. You're working at a job. You're never gonna be able to get rich, right? You have to do the business. And let me ask you the question, Tina, right? Does money matter to you?
I think it depends and kind of does a little.
A little. All right.
Yeah.
All right. A little. Nice. Can I ask somebody else? Mahu, does money matter to you?
Yeah, money matters a lot.
Why does it matter?
I think it just gives because you can say it's just I'm able to free to do whatever I want, I guess.
Right.
Like it just brings that freedom.
Right. All right. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I mean, money is matter. Why? Why do I say money matter? You know why? Because you are selling your life. A lot of people say money is not matter, doesn't matter. But guess what? People, they selling their health, their family, their career, their kids, their core value for something called job. To what? To trade back money, right? And if you say that money is not important because you don't have a job and you don't feel the pain of working as an employee, you gotta look at your parents. If you say money is not matter, why your parents have to sacrifice their whole life, wake up at 6 a.m. and go to work? Why your parents have to, you know, sacrifice their health and go to work? And you say money is not matter. All right? Money matter. What it takes for you to buy clothes? Money. What it takes for you to buy food? Money. What it takes for you to buy the house? Money. What it takes you to buy a car? Money. What it takes you to send your kid to school? Money. Money does matter. All right? And this is an example of, you know, who make it in Amway business. And this is Philly. He make the Q12 Platinum in 2 years. All right. And that's the checks. That's the bonus check that Amway sent to him. A month, guys. It's not a year, a month. $21,000 a month. And me said make it in 6 years. Phoebe, you know, 3 years. Aline, 5 years. Averagely, you're gonna make it in 2 to 5 years. It depends on how hard you work and how fast you change. Right? You put more time in, you put more effort in, the more you're gonna get out. Right? And this, the right hand side, is the Jack of Philly. I saw you guys this not to brag. I saw you guys this not to, you know, to hook you in. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna guarantee that you're gonna make it in Amway business. Make it or not, it's your choice. You have full control. All the money I sold to you, people don't know what they don't know, right? And people don't know what they want until they know what available. And I'm gonna show you what available in our business and how much money you can make. Yeah. And this is Ali Maka, and he's the mentor of Philly. Philly is my mentor. Ali Maka, in 5 weeks, he make about $260,000. It's equal to somebody making in 5 years. His 5 weeks equals to somebody making 5 years, right? And guess what? And this is the family income. This is the Vinny and Dana Papaloto, and the whole family. That's a whole family. And Dexter, Birth Chief, and I'm talking about this is you can build as the family business. You can build 3 generations. This is how much they make. What, you know, and who would like money income just like this, right? And you build Amway business, your kids gonna build Amway business, and this is how much you guys be able to make, right? It all depends on you. The good thing about Amway business, you are the business owner. The business owner means that you control everything. How much money you make, you can control it. How long does it take for you in a job to make this kind of money? Never. You're never gonna be able to make $9 million a year, right? So, and what kind of dream you have? What kind of dream? What kind of house do you have in your mind, right? What kind of, you cannot shoot something when you don't see it, right? Doesn't matter how good you are, but if you close your eyes, man, I'm military, right? I'm very skillful with gun, but I will not be able to shoot with my eyes closed. So the same thing with your goal. If you don't have the goal, doesn't matter how hard you work, you're not going to be able to achieve it. And what kind of house do you want to live in the next 5 or 10 years? What kind of car do you want to drive? Do you know that when you reach the water turn blue? Right, the water gonna turn blue when you reach. And if you want to turn to yellow color, it's gonna turn to yellow color. That's a Sugid swimming pool. He has 14 different lights in his swimming pool, right? And that's just about. And this is. I'm about to show you my mental lifestyle, and just take a look. All right. And you know what I like about it? I liked about it because his name is Sugi Achmani, and he's the mentor of Ali and Maka, right? He's multi-millionaire. And on the video that you see his lifestyle, it's not just his lifestyle, it's your future. His today is your tomorrow. And your today is his yesterday. So that's why you have a chance to make it too. And guess what? I don't care how many people that you know out there. Out there, there's a lot of rich people. There's a lot of guys who driving Ferrari, Lamborghini, live in the mansions, whatever, right? But here's a question: you may know a lot of rich people, but will that person gonna teach you how to be rich? The same thing, how to get rich? Yes or no? Maybe no, right? It doesn't matter how many people do you know, but are they willing to teach you, to coach you, and to help you to develop an asset-based income so that you can live the same lifestyle that they live, right? And that's why I chose the Amway business, because in here, look at this, right? Ali and Maka came to US as a refugee guy, doesn't speak English, 5 kids, 40 bucks in the pocket. But because he followed Sugit, Sugit turned him from refugee to become multi-millionaire. And look at him. He's wealthy, and look at on the right hand side is a Kenny and Nini came to US as an international student, bust the table for a living, work under the table for a living, and his first check ever in Amway business is $69 in 2011, right? And after, guess what? After 3 years, because Kenny follow Ali, and that's why he make it 15 grand a month. And look at how the mentorship changed people's life, right? And it works. It works. And this is the proof. And I don't care how much money you pay, but I'm telling you, this is the mentorship is worth it. I spent personal time with Sugit, the guy in the video. I spent time with him. He gave me the Rolex of $15,000 to build my dream. He gave me the ring. It's cost him $30K to build my dream. Right? Do you have personal time with him? Right? Do you have the personal time to talk to them? Right? And hang around with Ali, the man that in 5 weeks making $300,000 a year. I spend time with him, and he teach me how to do it. Right? And this is the only way, I'm telling you, this is the only way for you to get into the circle. They opened the door for me to meet up with so many more time in there, and that's how they build my dream up. I listened to their story. I listened to the way they spend money. I listened to the way that they live. Oh my God, my mind's got blown up. And that's how I build my dream, right? Hang around with rich people. If you hang around with 5 rich people, you're gonna be number 6 in matter of time. Yeah, and that's why I choose Amway business. Because this is the only. That's why I have to earn the mentorship to get close to them. I have to work my butt up for this, man. I have to work so that I can be close with them. Right? And that's just the number 2. And number 3 I want to say about is going to be the recognition, the impact. When you become successful in Amway business, I'm telling you, you're going to feel a different way. Whatever money or the car, house, that's a tangible, right? The tangible. But this is the intangible. This is what makes you feel great. This is what people are not gonna know about success, right? And I want to show you the video and watch it, and you're gonna feel the heat, you're gonna feel the recognitions, and you're gonna feel how people separate the success in Amway business. All right. Yes. And this is the moment that Ali, he helped 6 people to become a cool 12, and he went diamonds. Just imagine, guys. I mean, in the corporate world, will people cheer you up because you become a CEO? Maybe not, right? But here, if you become the diamond means that you're helping people, and these people here is because Ali helping them. So look at the way that they separate, and imagine you celebrate your success in front of 10,000 people. That's the Richmond Coliseum. 10,000 people gonna cheer for you, gonna clap for you, gonna shout out your name. And guess what? Imagine that your parents sit down there, right down there, proud of you. They look at the sun, say, "Wow!" They don't even care that what you do. As long as people cheer for you, they feel proud. 10,000 people cheering for you. Imagine your kids gonna see it, and you become the role model. You become their hero. And guess what? That's what the Amway business offer. Not just success, but recognition. Because you're helping people to live the better life. That's what they're gonna help you to live the better life, right? Imagine that one day you're gonna be on the stage walking, and many people are gonna celebrate your success, right? And this is when you become. This is Kenny and Nini, right? When you success, you want to pick your brand and know the knowledge, right? And look at their kids. They're so proud of their parents, right? If you let's say that if you're successful in the regular traditional business, will you be on TV? Will people know who you are? Right? Will you make impact? Maybe not, right? And the next is gonna be the video.
Who is that, Hanson?
It's Kenny and Nene.
Who is that?
It's Kenny and Nene.
Yeah, I mean, imagine one day you become successful, and you're gonna be on TV, and your kid's gonna see it, and your kid's gonna feel so proud of you, right? And that's what Amway offers. That's what this business offers for you. Not just become successful, but become the role model of your kids, so that you can impact people, so that your kid's gonna feel proud of you, be their hero, right? So you set the right example, and that's, for me personally, I want to be like that. I want to be on the stage. I want to be on TV. I want to let my kids see how, feel proud of me. My parents feel proud of me, and my wife feel proud of me. Yeah. And again, success is about you, right? Success is what you take, but significance is about all the people. Success in Amway business, it doesn't matter what you have, but how many are better off because you leave, right? When you become successful, I cannot guarantee that you're gonna become happy. Happy and success maybe not going together, but if you live the life of significance, for sure you're gonna feel happy. For sure you're gonna feel fulfillment. For sure that you're gonna feel proud of yourself, right? And we in this together to change the world, to make the American better place. And we change people's life by what? By awake at the dream. Like give them the vehicle to achieve their dream. That's why Amway business is so meaningful, right? And look at, when you travel to somewhere, people gonna light up. People gonna, make the banner and say, welcome Mahu, welcome Samita, because they want to learn from you, because they know you can add value into their life. That's why they welcome you. And everywhere you go, the people gonna follow you. And that's the power of Amway business, right? And look at when you become successful, Amway gonna invite you to have dinner with the president of the United States, Joe Biden. Can you have that in the traditional business? Can you have that in your job? Can you have that if you're successful out there? Maybe not, right? Yeah. And this is another one about freedom and family. Freedom, guys, I'm telling you, freedom. And whatever the money that you see in the first part, that's called passive income. And what passive income can do for you is to buy your life back. And this is how we separate freedom. We use a hammer, we smash the clock. The enemy of is my enemy in the morning that wake me up every day when my eyes to and I one time I asked my mentor, Sugit, what time you wake up? And he was like, I don't know, when my eyes open, right? And he told me that, you know why God make a darkness? Mahu, do you know why God make the darkness? Darkness.
No, I do not.
Because he want people to sleep.
Oh.
But guess what? I wake up at 5 a.m. And a lot of people have to wake up when the sky's still dark to go to work. And that's against the principle of God. Right? And look at Kenny and Nini. What are you doing on Monday? All right? They spend their time on the boat in San Diego Bay, man. I mean, look at that. Look at your future. Look at that. One day you and your wife gonna be like that. And how great the life gonna be. Right? That's why freedom. You can buy the house, but not home. You can buy the watch, but not time for your family. Right? You can buy the luxury things, but you can travel, but can you explore? And this is the Monday morning. And this is the big question. This is successful people Monday morning. What they do? Pool time. They're swimming together. They spend time with their family. That's a Monday morning. That's a Monday afternoon of Sugit at a Sugit house in the backyard. What they do? Swimming. Right? And look at the funny things right there. That's your Monday. That's your Monday to go to work. Right? You piss off. And you're so angry. Right? How long do you plan to live like that? How long do you plan to keep being angry on Monday? And you know what? The statistic, they did the research. People that die the most is on the Sunday night and Monday morning. Why? Because they know they have to come to work the next day. That's why they died heart attack. Yeah. And look at the freedom. Look at, you can spend time with your family. And guys, this is priceless. This is like, you look at the picture here. Sugi, he has been financial freedom for 30 years. And look at the way that he spent time, stay at home with his daughter, right? 10:30 a.m. on the Tuesday morning. 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. What people do, they go to work. And Sugi, what they do? Stay at home, be full-time dad for his daughter and full-time son for his mom. And can you imagine one day that, for example, right? For example, for the female, Samita, can you imagine one day that you're gonna give birth to your kids and you have to leave them and you have to go to work for your boss? Are you willing to do that? Samita or Tina, you're gonna give birth one day, right? You're gonna be pregnant, you're gonna give birth to the kids. And are you willing to leave your kids at home and go to work? Maybe not. Right? And you don't want that. And look at Kenny. Kenny, she never ever saw her dad to go to work. And that's why I'm telling you, the family in Amway business, that's why you need time. Right? Oops. And this is, and you know, there's so many mentors, so many rich people out there. You know, Jeff Bezos, Michael, Bill Gates, or Tesla, the owner of Tesla, like what his name? Elon Musk, right? I know they are rich, but I don't like the life behind the closed door, right? Their marriage is not one. They're not like loyalty to their marriage. And if you want to look at some people's life success, hey, check their marriage out, check their family, check the life behind the door, right? And then this Ali and Malka has been married for 30 years, right? And guess what? And later, you and your wife, you and your husband, gonna be so bond together because you guys fight for the same dream. You guys gonna fight for the same thing. You guys have the same common goal, same common business, same common, you know, struggle. And that's how you got together, overcome everything. And that's what it means. What's that Amway business provide for you? The family, the marriage, right? 44 years ago, 50 years ago. That's how long you're gonna stay in a marriage, right? You know, let me ask you a question. What if you make $1 million in your bank account, but then your wife cheated on you? Are you gonna feel happy? Maybe not, right? What if your kids not listening to you? Are you gonna feel happy? Right? No. Then why you make a lot of money for? That's why in Amway business, not just the money, but this is intangible things you never see. Intangible value is gonna bring the happiness for you, right? And one more is say travel and friendship, right? And this is crazy. This is like when you become cultural platinum in Amway business, and we're gonna pay fully trips for you to travel with your mom, with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, kids. They're gonna pay for it. And look at the picture that Phil and his mom on the Q12 Achiever, right? And fully paid Amway. Can you imagine how proud your mom's gonna be? Just like you're gonna you know invite her on the trip, on the vacation, right? And she's gonna feel so proud because people keep telling her how cool, how good your kid is, or how good you are, and that's how she's gonna feel so proud about her son, her daughter, right? And when you become diamond, they're gonna send you to they're gonna send you to so many places that you can enjoy.
You will drive it first. No, you will drive it first. Then we'll exchange it later. No, you're going first. Lamborghini, which one is this?
He doesn't even know which one, what kind of Lamborghini that is. But guess what? That's his. He can drive it, right?
We love you. Yes, Maka. All of you guys. We believe we're here for you. And if you can do it,
you can do it.
You can do it. That's the idea. We are just here this trip to represent you. So if you're there and watching this video, this trip, that beautiful place, the time, the energy, the money, the not knowing, here you go, say hi. Send your love. Yes.
How cool is that? Like your mentor, he traveling and he sent you the video. He said that, hey, it's like you work hard, you're gonna be here with us. I got goosebumps the day that he sent me that video. I say, wow, Ali, thank you for building my dream, right? And they spent $60K just for 5 days traveling, $60,000, like somebody the whole year income just for 5 days traveling. And that's how I'm so blessed under his mentorship, right? And guess what? You gotta earn it again.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the Italy. And look at Kenny. He took his whole side of family to Australia for the vacation, right? Just imagine that one day you make a lot of money and you have a lot of time and you want to invite your whole family, your uncle, your auntie, your cat, your dog, your fish, your cow, whatever, to go on vacation together with everybody, right? Just imagine that you invite your mom brother, your mom, your dad brother, your dad sister, everybody go together in one trip, right? And that's how you pay them back. They pay them back by time your parents need you, not your income. Your parents need your attention, not your money, right? And that's how you pay them back. You pay them back by, you know, take them on trip with other relatives, yeah. And that's how you pay you back your parents. And friendship, guy, friendship in the business, we spend time together. We personal growth together. We read together. We listen. We fight to go together. We hang around together. And I make a joke, man. I make a joke. I say that our friendship is more tight than your skinny jean. Our friendship is more tight than your skinny jean, right? And we've been friendship together for 10, 15, and that's why the friendship in the business lasts forever. Because we have a common goal, right? In the army, I'm very easy to trust my buddy, my battle buddy. Why? Because we have the same core value. And this is the core value that we teach in the Amway business, right? We don't pass negative for anybody. We don't embarrass anybody, mess with anybody money. We never mess with anybody ego. We don't mess with anybody, anyone's spouse, right? And that's the rules in our business. That's the rule that we believe. That's why the friendship lasts forever, right? And Brick Worldwide principle, we treat people the way that you want to be treated, build the business with integrity and accountability, right? No discrimination with age, sex, color, disability, no vulgarity, no smoking, no drinking, no cursing. You never heard any word of cursing in Amway business, in the association that you hang around, right? No rumor, no gossip, no criticize. And this is the perfect. I wanna put my kids in this environment. I can trust my wife in this association, right? We teach people, we teach each other a power of unity, right? The teamwork, the power of submission, right? Do not get hurt, do not hurt others, and the power of spoken word. We speak good about everybody, right? And last but not least, this is one of my very favorite quotes. When your dream is big enough, the fact don't count, and you have not because you ask not. You don't ask for nothing. That's why you have nothing. So after today, again, I hope that I share with you all the value. I hope that I build your dream up. I hope that you learn something, you catch some vision, right? The winner is the one look for possible, right? They don't care. They don't care how long it takes. As long they just care, can it be done, right? The winner is the one look for possible, and hopefully after today, you're gonna identify your dream. You're gonna write down why you want to build Amway business. Because when your dream is so big, it's going to help you to overcome your fear, right? And it's going to burn all the doubt, the fear in your brain when your desire for success is so big, right? So I hope that it's helped. And again, it's my pleasure sharing with you today. And back to the host.
Wow.
Let's just let that sink in, guys. How amazing was that, right? Like such amazing sharing about the opportunity and the visions in this Amway business opportunity and the possibility of things that you can have, which all his sharings remind me of a little part in movie I watched called Up in the Air by George Clooney. If you guys watch movie. So basically he's play a person who go around and fire people in big corporations. So one day he was firing another man and he was complaining about how he have enough money when he got fired, he don't have enough money to take care of his kids and things like that. And then he asked him that one question: is your children admirations important for you? That man said yes. And then he asked him again, do you know why kids love athletics? So athletes, he said, because they date, they have money, they buy stuff that they want, they date hot models and stuff. He said, no, that's why adults love athletes. But kids love athletes because they follow their dream. And it's actually hit me when Elvis share that for me. I see the pictures of mentors, all the successful people in this business chasing their dreams, chasing what they really truly believe in, and it gives such good inspiration to their kids. And I want my kids to be chasing their dreams, chasing what they do, not because of the bondage of societies, because they scare of this and that, but I want to be that example of my kids in the future. When they look at me, they see they're a person who chasing what he wants, so that they have the courage to say that, oh, my parents is chasing their dreams. I want to chase my dream too. And therefore, I don't want that kids to look up to anybody else, but I want to be the main example for it. So with the sharing like that, that's why I also choose this business opportunity. However, we're not here to, as you see all the possibility, all the amazing stuff, we're not here to just discuss the good stuff about this business. We're here to discuss this business as a whole, so that you can have the bigger understanding of how it is and what it is. So the next speaker is going to be coming up and share with you guys a little bit of the opposite perspective of why so many people are like, why there is negative about this business. Why is there some people who are against this or criticizing this business model or this business opportunity? So I'm excited to hear what he's about to say. So our next speaker, he's an upcoming BBI, really big, humongous team right now. He is currently running for his Upline Q12 goal. So therefore, he's a huge contributor to his Upline goal. And before the business, he had a really successful startup background, and really a talented man that actually have a lot of business experience. So he came to this business opportunity and decided to commit to this business opportunity and build this opportunity because he sees something as an entrepreneur that no other people don't see. So today he's going to share with you a little bit about the other side, why some people criticizing this business, why some people don't understand this business. So make sure to listen to it so that you can have a critical, better point of view about this business. So with that, help me welcome Miko to the stage.
Hello, Miko.
Yo,
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, guys. What the heck? That was crazy. Yeah. I liked when he was mentioning all these different things. I'm thinking like, man, like who is that guy? That guy sounds good. Oh, okay. Can I have some of the people who are here maybe for the first time? Like I'd love to have a conversation with you guys. I'd hate for it to just be like me talking the whole time. I want to make it like a little bit like I could at least see you, right? Okay. There we go. Hello, Schlock. Maybe 2 or 3 more. Yeah.
Hello,
How are you doing today?
how are you?
Oh, okay. Hello, Madhu. Okay. I was talking with you before. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Awesome. And then we have Tina. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm excited. Yeah, and I mean, I hope I don't come off as some kind of, someone gonna bite you or anything like that. Yeah, I'm vegetarian. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think today, so my name is Mikkel. I'm part of, Jeff and Stella team, part of, Phil organization. And today there are a few things that I really want to be able to share with some of you guys. And it's not going to be always just something very bright, very fun. Maybe there's going to be some questions, some tough questions that some of you guys might have had in your mind coming out of the bowl plan for the first time. And if you were anything like me before, probably you walked into the Tuesday meeting, you were excited, you had some question, and then you walked out of that meeting with 2 to 3 times even more question. Is that right? I know some of you guys were like that. And so, I have a couple of slides that I want to share with you because there's a lot of people that they asking a similar question. And so I put together some of the most common questions that they've been presenting and giving to us. And I thought, why not just put it all together so that you guys can all check it out. And so that's what we're gonna show for you guys today. And I think there are some ground rules that I want to share with you guys. There are two types of people in the meeting tonight, especially for those of you guys who are still going through the process. There is the first type that, taking a look at this, they're skeptical and they're open-minded. And so when you're skeptical and open-minded, it means that you've got some questions. You will have some things that you want to clarify, you want to ask, and you want to find out. And then there are people who they have those similar skepticism, but they don't share. And it's called you close-minded. And so the rest of this meeting is going to be effective for the first time, that you have the question and then you're looking to have it answered so that you can have a better clarity of this opportunity. Because I want you, as I'm going through these questions, to also really think back about why did you get started, right? But I'm sure, you guys have talked about that a little bit. And so, yeah, there's a couple of questions that I'm going to be going over. And as we kind of go along, maybe I'll interact with you here and there. But, who's excited? Who's ready for that? You guys ready? Okay.
Me.
All right, let's take a look at the first one. So first tough question that, is very common is how many of you guys had run into some negative review? You got a quick Google search, and first few things that you're finding is what? You find out that, oh, there's some people that saying this thing about Amway, they saying that thing about Amway. They have a lot of opinions that are all over the internet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not something new. If you were to do that, then I mean, everybody can know. But now I have a couple of things that I want to share with you on this because it's really critical, okay? And I want to tell you is, how do you evaluate information? Do you guys remember when, maybe a couple meetings ago, or there was a slide that really stated clearly that said, we have this process to educate people. And so in the process of educating people, we want to know, can you differentiate between facts and opinion? Because when you look into the facts behind the company, you'll find a lot of good things, right? I'm sure there's been some credibility slide. There's been some meeting in the past that you got to see just how huge the corporation is. And then the second one is, well, what about the experiences? What about the reviews that other people have had? And this is where now you need to learn how to differentiate. Is it an opinion or is it a fact? And so there's someone that had come to me in the past and they said, oh, this opportunity is not great. I said, why? Because I found 5 different blog posts that say, this is just recruiting and sell, and then this is this and that. They have a lot of things that they bring up. And I said, okay, sure. My first question for you is, are you talking about some kind of recruiting and selling thing, like just quick money and want to make things fast and just pushing sell? Or were you looking into creating an asset that lasts you for the long term? They told me I was looking into creating an asset. I said, okay. And so this person that had brought you that source that you had started to read, let me check your research. So who is the author? They said, I don't know. I said, okay, well, where is this information it come from? They said that there was it's a blog post, and it looked all right. It looked like a legit website. And I said, oh, hold on a minute. You cannot just only base it on what the website looked like. I said, why don't you scroll to the bottom of that website? You click on the about page. So he clicked on the about page, and I said, you see that is there a potential that this article will have some bias? You guys have done research before. You guys done some things like that, right? When you write the essay. And so you always look for something called a bias. And so in terms of the bias, is there a potential that blog post had bias? I believe so. If it's based on promoting some other product or promoting some other brand, or you could definitely see it for yourself that there is potential for it to have a bias, right? And so now you can already see that there is layers to how you evaluate information. Who is it that you're here? Is it someone who had just gotten in for 5 seconds and then they gone the next day? Everybody is going to question. And I said, that could be the same thing when it comes to sports, to the class. Would you want to listen to somebody that had failed the class? Are you looking into creating just something like small get rich quick and then just creating like something small but asset? Then the way that you evaluate information, I will hear a lot of opinion result that I want. One of your friend and or someone that you talk about Amway, you talk about this opportunity with them. How would you handle it if they said, "I think this thing is a scam. I don't think it's a good business." What would you say?
I would ask him, why do you think that?
That's a good way to. That's a good question right there. And they say, "Oh, it's because they just try to, when I was part of it, they were just trying to get me to just getting product, and then it didn't work out for me, and I think that the company doesn't work and just business doesn't work."
Then it would make me become skeptical a little bit. But I would just want to find out for myself though, like, okay, like like, are you sure about that? Like how that process worked if my friend was telling me.
Right, right. So now you definitely got to ask some question, but it's even educate yourself, because what if it does happen? What if it's not just your friend? What if it's your parents? What if it's, somebody out there? And so the thing here, guys, is this quote very powerful, is the number one reason people fail in life is because they quickly listen to their friends, families, and neighbors. The last person who will support you, at least in business that I've observed, is that they were looking to say, oh, they listen to their friend, they listen to someone that they know for a long time, rather than listening to someone who has been success for a long time. And so there's certain people that have goals in here. You have certain things that you want to accomplish, and there's going to be things that are going to be the obstacles that test what you're thinking about. It's going to be society, it's going to be those people that tried it, there's going to be people like your relatives. And let me tell you one thing, Madhu, just because someone failed in it themselves, does that mean that you will also fail?
No.
Definitely not, because there's people who have dropped out of college. There's some people that say a lot of things about the university that you go to, but you still choose to go to that university. And another thing too, last thing, one more thing that I want to share about when it comes to, who to really listen to. What do all of these very successful people have in common? Steve Jobs, Michael Dell, Mark Zuckerberg. No, you can't just reply me that they have a lot of money, okay? What do they have all in common is what? They've all had to overcome a lot of negative from other sources, other people. When Mark Zuckerberg showed the Facebook idea to a lot of the people around him, what happened? He invited 5, only 2 showed up. 3 of them told him, you should give up Facebook, you should quit that thing, and then focus on Harvard University. And the 2 that showed up, they still with him today, and that's why they're one of the biggest people when it comes to social media right now. So what is the lesson behind these 3 highly successful people? Like I've always been saying, is that to be frank, if we were to do a Google search of any company, Disneyland, Disney World, Airbnb, Uber, any of these places, you would find that there's also negative. And for me, it just means that they've done something. that they have actually done something versus yourself. If I were to Google myself right now, who hasn't had like, maybe as big of a success as Mark Zuckerberg, if I were to Google myself or Google yourself, how much would you find? Not much yet. Right? Let's go to the next question. Number 2. So do people at the top making the most money? I would write some of these down. So when you get this question, you guys still remember some of that performance plan, but then, what if you had run into somebody and they say, I think that this opportunity is a pyramid scheme. I think that they're just trying to scam you out of your money. The person at the top make the most. For me, the first question I'm going to ask back to that person who tell me that, I'm going to ask them, so what do you mean by pyramid scheme? What exactly is that? Where did you hear that from? And from my experience, most of what they've said is, just the top make the most money. Why is that potentially a flaw? You know why? Because isn't that the exact same thing as what a CEO is like? So you say what I do is pyramid, then I'm going to ask back. So would you also agree that what you do is also pyramid? Is anyone here working? Let me ask, anybody working a job right now? Like maybe Tina or Madhu, anybody working right now? Or Schlock? No, not yet. Okay, there's some people in here that are working, so I just can't see them on my screen. But hey, let me ask you can you make more money than your manager? Nope. Even if you work more than them, right? You work more hours, you work longer, cannot make more. Then can that manager make more money than your director?
No.
Nope. Can that director make more money than the CEO? Nope.
Oh.
So what does it mean, guys? Is that when someone just comes to me and they say pyramid, I say, yeah, that's very common in the E quadrant in employee world. But the thing is that in this opportunity, in this business, we actually not based on your position. Do you guys remember this little picture from the slide on Tuesday, right? Which one makes the most? Do you guys remember? A, B, or C? You can give me a shout out.
C.
It was C.
C? Okay. Who said that first? Tina. So Tina, why is it C and not A?
It's C because it has like more legs and like more like people are helping you. So if you have like more people, your business is gonna have more benefits. And it's not A because A it only has like one leg and it's like on top. But it's C because it has like more legs and more benefits.
Perfect. I absolutely love it. It's just the fact that C, well, the picture's a bit cut off, but C from the Tuesday picture is gonna have a lot more 6% than the person at the very top, right? So this picture would be B, who is not at the top, right? Which is you'll never get to see this in corporate. You'll never get to see this in what? Your workplace. But in here, we value what? If you work hard, then you should be compensated for as much as you worked. And if you work harder than the person who introduced you into the opportunity, or if you work harder than the people who had gotten in before you, you have every right to make more than that person because this opportunity is a level playing field. All right. So let's move on to the next question. How many of you had this? Is that when you saw this opportunity, you're thinking, how do I know that this is actually passive income? Because from the looks of it, it appears that it be all active. You still have to be the one to be selling. You still have to be the one that's, doing all the work, right? You have to get people in, and then you have to teach them how to sell. Isn't that still active income? Oh, that's a tough question. That's a good question. Now, here's the thing, guys, is in this opportunity, what you have available for yourself is that you have an opportunity to create a system. And so in the Amway business, there's 3 ways to make money. Number 1, you can get discounts on products that are already high quality. And so you can buy low and sell high. That's called retailing, right? You get a discount, number 1. Number two, you could be able to retail the products. But now here's a beautiful thing, is you have an opportunity now to create a system, which is number three, you get to franchise out. You get to expand your network. And so when you expand your network and you teach other people how to do what you've done, and then you use that to create leadership for yourself, and then for the people in your team, that's how slowly but surely you'll create an asset. Because let's say Madhu, if I taught you how to create a 6-figure revenue business where you're confident about yourself, you're confident about the team that you create, and you're consistently making that 6 figures in revenue, do I have to be super involved into your business running all the time?
No, you don't.
Definitely not. It's like if I taught you how to ride a bike, would I have to teach you how to ride the bike a second time?
Nope.
Definitely not. Exactly. But now here's what's difficult. This is what's difficult in terms of creating that passive income, is that you're going to have to do some things that is what is needed rather than just what is liked, which is you have to change yourself. You have to grow yourself. You have to become somebody that upgrade, because it's one thing to do for yourself. It's a second thing to teach other people. And it's a third thing to teach the teachers how to teach people. You see what I'm saying? And so in this level playing field called Amway, you can first yourself learn how to go platinum, create a 6-figure revenue business. And then from there, you can teach other people how to go platinum. And that's how you have passive income, because you are earning percentage from those other platinums that you created in your depth, right? And so that is how you can creating a system for yourself. And here's another thing that someone has really told me before, is that they feel don't like to sell to people and pushing products. Some of the things very common is that they'll say things like, you're really aggressive about pushing a product onto people. You spam everybody, you show them something that they don't really need, and then you're manipulating people, and that's called selling. But the thing is, guys, is in business, I hope first you realize that there's nothing wrong with selling itself. It's just the way that people sell is where the conflict and the concern arise. Nothing wrong with the sales. Can you name me a couple business that doesn't sell? Oh, there's none. And so instead, here's the amazing thing, is that nobody here is telling you that you need to go out there and then you're forcing products onto people. In fact, it's the exact opposite, because this is network marketing 2.0, where we're more focused on, can you be able to share the product that you enjoy to use? What is the difference between sharing and selling? Number one, you're telling your friends about a movie they cannot miss. You've been passionately proclaiming good news you cannot keep inside, as in you tell other people about stuff that you're just passionate about. Third thing, you just talk about something that added value onto your life. Like if I talk about a book that helped me overcome my problem in terms of understanding people and developing an EQ, right? Which is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Did I sell that book to you, or did I share that book to you? I shared the book. And now my question to you is anything in terms of sharing something that you haven't done for the last 20 years? It's something you've already been doing, but now you have an opportunity to get paid for it. That's the amazing thing with this opportunity, right? Next, check this out. Are products expensive? I mean, you've definitely got to do some of your own research in here, but here's the thing that I can show you is, what is the cost per usage? I don't have it in front of me, but let's say in terms of let's say the Glister toothpaste versus your Colgate, right? The Glister toothpaste has been synthesized and created in such a way that number one, it has organic ingredients, right? And number two, the cost per usage. The same Glister toothpaste, which is let's say maybe 50 cents, $1 extra than the Colgate brand. It's huge. And it can last you 3 months, 3-4 months, versus let's say the toothpaste. any other brand out there, I'm not saying any particular one, but they could only last you 1 month instead. And so you have to really evaluate things from the cost per usage, number one. Number two, what is the cost versus your value? Because if you only look at products in terms of what is the cost and are they cheap, then what about the value that you give onto your customers? For me, I value what is the value that I'm giving onto people, because think about it for a second. Schlock, did you know that there's a bag out there made of leather and it's like $20,000, $30,000? Did you know that? It's called Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
The same Louis Vuitton bag, 20 to 30K. People are still buying that. I personally, I would never drop 20 to 30K onto a Louis Vuitton bag. So now it depends on who you're talking with. Does the person you're talking with have a value in what you're giving them? There's some playing cards out there. They from the 90s, the 80s. To me, they don't have that much value, but to some people, they're worth thousands of dollars, right? And so it's not only about the cost. What is the value that you're giving to your community, right? And it's the reference point as well, because as a guy, I never knew how much is skincare. And so when I saw how much is skincare, suddenly I'm like, oh man, how could I be able to sell that? But then when I show some of those same products to someone who's been using skincare for a very long time, they say, oh yeah, that's pretty decent. That's the same amount that I would pay at another store. So it's about your reference. Next slide. What if the rate of success is low? So I mean, that depends. I mean, take a look at this. I mean, depends on how do you define success. If success for you is something called bronze builder incentive, which is a BBI, and making about anywhere between $6,000 to $1,000 every month, yeah, then the rate of success is actually relatively high. A lot of people can be able to do that. Or what if your definition for success is an extra $100 to $200 a month to help pay for some credit card bill? Oh my goodness, then so many people can be able to achieve that. Okay, but I mean, some of you guys are extremely ambitious. And so you're saying, I want to go platinum, I want to go emerald, I want to go diamond. Oh, okay, then I agree with you that the rate of success is low. Why? Is because, here's the thing. I believe that it should be low if it's something like diamond, because if everyone were to achieve it and it was extremely easy, is it still worthwhile? Let me say it again. Is if everybody achieves success right away and there's no struggle, it's something everybody can do, then what makes it something that is worthwhile though? If you got a participation award, do you feel great? Nope. But if you're number one in the championship, as in number one out of 200 people in a sports competition, hey, that rate of success was still low, but it was very worthwhile if you were part of it and worked hard for it, right? Last thing I want to share about this is that in network marketing and Amway, it's very easy to start, and so the commitment level is also quite low. If it costs you $5 to start a business, you'll have a $5 work ethic. And so with Amway, if it's less than $100, you'll have a less than $100 work ethic. But thankfully, you have a selection process that show you and educate you how to increase that likelihood by educating yourself, right? Next slide. Check this out. Someone has told me before that there's eventually not going to be enough people in the world. There was someone who's, I met someone who's very, very smart, right? A friend of mine had gone to a really great university, and I was showing him the plan, and he told me that based on the numbers, based on the statistics, you're gonna run out of people by the time it's like 15 layers. There isn't gonna be enough people in the world for you to have your business. And I said, okay, mathematically that does sound correct, but then how come people like Walmart, Costco, Target, and these guys, how come they never worrying about running out of people? How come they never worry? Or things like, who says that you need 10 million people? Who says you need 7 million? If you study the Amway compensation plan, you just need 6. Let me say it again. You just need 6 good people for yourself to achieve success, however you define it, right? If you can just find 6 people, is that enough? I believe it's enough. Some of the biggest people in this business, some of the biggest people called Bill Britt, who went Crown Ambassador, which is the very, very top of the rewards and recognition, Crown Ambassador. He was able to have all of his success with just only 30,000 people. And so who says you need 10 million? Right? And so that's the thing, guys. And it's not just about the number of people, but it's also based on the customer network that you create as well. Right? It's not only just about how big is your number, but it's also about how much sales that you have going through your network. Next slide. Well, this is a big one. I mean, personal story is that, when I had seen the opportunity at the time, I had, just getting into college, I was a little bit arrogant about like how I saw it, had an expectation for myself. I didn't quite know about who I was just yet in terms of my capacity. I didn't know what is my ability. So which led me to kind of have quite a bit of doubt, as you could probably feel if you were in my shoes before. You've got school, you've got work, you've got now potentially business, you have a social life, you have your parents, you have so many different things that are on your plate. It's like very quickly to feel overwhelmed. And if you are anything like me, I absolutely feel for you. And I felt that, would I be able to succeed in this opportunity? Because I simply don't have the time. But this is what I found out, guys, and you can write it down, is that last time I checked, nobody in this world walking around and they say, oh, I have so much time. Please come and give me something to do. Nobody does that. Nobody is going around saying, I'm just waiting for an opportunity because I have an extra 20 hours in the day. Or they say, oh, I'm just waiting to get to the gym so that I can have an extra 5 hours in a day. Nobody does that. So was the problem really time? Because if the problem was time, how come there's people out there, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, who they've amassed billions of dollars in their net worth, and they still have the same 24 hours in a day? And so I found out that it's not about how much time you have, it's about what is your priorities. What is important and what is valuable to you? Because what is important to you, you will make time for it. And when you make time for it, and then you put the effort for it, that's why you'll succeed in what you put priorities on. And so I really got to ask you, what's your end goal? Because there's some of us who are in here who were maybe just like me 4 years ago, who when I started this opportunity, I've had a president of the club, I was running a startup, I was having a very fancy job title at a bank internship, quite a big corporation. And also I was trying to have like a lot of social life, like girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, all these different things. And now my question for you is, are you busy towards your goal? Or are you productive towards your goal? Let me say it again. Are you busy or are you productive? And for me, I was very, very tired of just being busy, worn out, burnt out. And then I couldn't even feel that I made a progression towards my ultimate goal. What part of being a president of the club had to deal with me reducing my student debt? What part of being, really out there doing a lot of different things and expanding out like a lot of energy in a lot of different places? What part of that had to deal with me retiring my mom? It had very little to do. So that's when I started to switch the things that I focused on. Right? So last couple things I want to share, and then I'm wrapping up. Check this out. What are you spending your time for? There's some people that they have so many different things, and then if you ask them what they do, they're just laying down bricks, right? This is the story of the stone cutter, right? There's 3 people cutting stone, and so the first one, they say, I'm laying down bricks. That's their job. There's a second person, they're doing the exact same thing, and then they talk with that person, and then they said, what are you doing? And he said, I'm creating a wall. And then there's a third person that they talk with, and they said, I'm building a castle. So let me ask you, what are you spending your time on? Do you have that vision? Do you have that end goal in mind that you're looking to create a castle? And you're so focused on that castle that everything else not related to the castle, you said, heck with it. I'm not really even focusing on that. Do you have that vision the same way that that stonecutter had? That he looked to create something big for himself. And that's why he chose to pick certain priorities. My mentor would always teach me this. He said, do you fill up a fishbowl with water or rocks first? What do you guys think? Water or rocks? You can give me a shout out. A fishbowl.
Rocks.
Rocks? Water? Okay, some people say water. I'm making it short. Is that when you fill up that fishbowl, if you put water first and then rocks, that water gonna go out, my friend. It's called water displacement. But in here, let me show you how to put rocks first. So what are those rocks in your life? Is it business? Is it life? Is it school? All those things? You have to put those things into your bowl first. And then when you put the water, that's how it doesn't overflow. That's how you don't get burned out. That's how you make a constant progression towards your goal. And so what did we talk about today, guys? I had 7 very common questions that I had come across. One that I had some concern, just the same way that you guys did. And I feel the same way that I wasn't sure about the opportunity at the time. But when I started to look into more research, I started to have conversations with people. I started to go through the rest of the process. I started to realize that, hey, there is actually a possibility for me to achieve it. And there are answers to some of my questions. It starts to make sense over time, not overnight, until eventually I found out that this opportunity can actually help me get to my goal. And I bought into it. I'm sold out. This is that one thing that I could be able to do to help me achieve what I want. And so that's why I hope today really helps some of you guys. And so with that, back to our awesome host.
Woo! Wow. Awesome. Such an amazing sharing from Miko. Thank you a lot for all that knowledge, because listen to him, the way that he described all the negative perspective or people who have objections against the business. It's just a lot like a gym membership. It's just a lot like a course in university. Those things that people have the wrong mentality when they come to it. They thought that paying for a tuition fee or paying for a gym membership is like guarantee a success in life. No, this is just a vehicle. It's up to you how to run it. It's up to you taking charge of it. You're not paying for gym membership. That means you guarantee a 6-pack, or you're paying for tuition fee. That means you guarantee a degree. No, they have a responsibility to teach you, but the rest is up to you. So when you come to the business as a mindset of just thought that they are expected, that they already given everything to you, then you would not get anything. Then that just make a lot of sense for me, because Nicole had been sharing such in-depth 7 questions that you usually get. And now you kind of see, oh, why do some people against it? Why do some people make mistake and criticize this business? But then look at it in the wrong perspective. And from a business owner perspective, this makes totally so much sense. And I am also like to actually bring up the next speaker, because he's going to be elaborate a little bit more in depth of other people those who criticize and don't do the business. All right, put them aside. We're done with them. But those who are building the business, why do some people not success yet? And what makes the success rate is so low? We definitely don't want it, because the success rate is low. We don't want to be part of that big majority. We want to higher that success rate for us. So therefore, the next speaker, he has a lot of experience, and he's going to be sharing with you a little bit about why do people fail in this business, and why you remain in that large portion of the people who are not yet success or haven't achieved anything yet when they're doing this business. So this next speaker is a big leaders that is in Q12 qualification. His team in North California area is growing tremendously. So he is having a lot of lesson to share, a lot of experience that he is experiencing. So today he's gonna be on the stage sharing with you some tips, some maybe amazing knowledge about why do people fail in this business. And make sure you are not one of those people that are gonna be failing in this business, but those that are gonna achieve that success. So are you guys ready for this upcoming leaders, brand new Q12 in qualifications, Jeffrey? Yeah! Let's go!
Awesome. Hello, everyone. And of course, good evening to everyone who has their hand raised. I know I've met a few of you. I haven't met a few of you. Some of you might know me from being the host from the last event or some sort. But again, here we are. I'm Jeff. I'm in San Jose. I'm actually working as a leasing consultant right now for about 200 plus apartment complex. I was originally doing tech, and even before that in high school, I'll be honest, I wasn't the best student. But I was a little bit more focused in sports. I was semi-pro in badminton. I was traveling across the US, competing in tournaments and whatnot. And so I've had my extensive journey as well, just like I'm sure some of you have as well, right? I just want to be here today to share because my main topic for today, I hope I can bring it up for you. This is what I like to call, what got you here will not take you there, right? And so a little bit about me. I mean, I might sound very fancy and whatnot, but I think everyone also has their fair share of passions and whatnot. Because for the ones who are raising your hand, you don't have to unmute, but did any of you actually understand why you have to go to college? Or was it kind of something that you went because everyone else was going? Anyone just got flung along with college a little bit? Some of you are in high school, maybe you don't answer that, right? But for some of you, I think you can relate to me. Or if you're even about to go to college, right? Have you ever thought of not going to college? Isn't it a weird thought to not go to college? Because sometimes the reason why we are where we are today, we don't even know it, you know? And so most of the people who have success and failures of this business, I don't think it's about being successful or failing. I think success is knowing why you failed and finding a way to overcome those failures. Right? And most of the time, people don't know what got them to where they are today. So they don't even know the things that they overcame to get to where they are today. Does that make sense? And so as you're approaching a new opportunity, what got you here will not take you there. What got you to where you are today in life? Congrats. We're very proud of you. I respect you. Some of you have done things that I'll never be able to do. However, in this business, there are some things that you may have to change because whatever you've been doing so far does not necessarily mean you'll succeed in this opportunity, right? And so there will be things you have to ask yourself. And I really believe that the right questions will lead you to the right answers. And so again, most of us just don't know where we are, right? Just think about it. Have you really questioned if you're in high school or something, or you're just starting college, why are you even going to college? Did you ever have the thought of, or even the option to not go to college or to not go to school? Anyone just was willing to go to their parents and was be like, hey, mom, I'd rather just go work for a few years. Anyone ever do that? No hands raised? I see a lot of head shakes, right? It's like, I don't want to get whipped, you know? I don't want to get the bamboo stick or something like that, right? I don't know. I feel like every culture has their own kind of punishment method. So let's not bring that in here. But I was very reminiscent of the bamboo stick. And so I just know that feeling of, I don't want to go against my parents and I don't have anything better to do anyway. So I don't have a better idea. So why don't I follow what they suggest so far, right? And so I kind of turned off my brain. You know, any of you, I know you're 17, 18, 19, have you looked back like 5 years ago? Do you realize you were actually in middle school just not too long ago? How come suddenly you're picking a major for college? How come suddenly you're supposed to be 18, you're legally allowed to do certain things at 18 now, you can vote and whatnot. Time flies pretty quickly, you know? And most of us don't even have too many memories of those 5 years, okay? And so where we are right now is hard to say because most of the things that we did were not chosen for us by ourselves, right? Because in my life, there are some constant decisions that I know that I can remember very well because of the effort that went into thinking about that, problem, or thinking about, should I do that decision or not? Thinking about, should I go travel to here? Should I go get this job or not? Should I, buy this food? Should I, all these different things, right? And so that made me become a little bit more aware of who I was, but most of us are still a little bit on the younger side. Most of those decisions are made by someone else, right? I think like, and so like Sam, for example, but did you ever have to worry about making lunch and dinner for most of your life? Not too much, right? But isn't it funny? It's like one of those basic needs you never had to think about before. So maybe, hopefully you know how to cook. I feel like this generation, everyone's pretty independent nowadays and you're unique. But if you don't, I'm not going to call you out, right? However, won't you have to cook eventually one day? So how come no one was willing to teach you until some point, right? Let's just assume you don't know how to cook, but how come no one taught you yet, right? And so how did you even get to survive 18, 19 years of your life, but you don't even know how to feed yourself? Doesn't it sound really weird, And I think a lot of the time, that's the thing that we are lacking. And so when people fail, they don't understand why they are failing, why they're even here. What made you guys come up to this point so far, right? Throughout this process, it's probably been, I don't know how long it took you to read the book, or what things you had to move around to attend some of these meetings, or what is it that inspired you so far. But for some reason, I don't know what thin line of fate that brought you here, but you are here for some reason, right? And I'm speaking to the choir here. There's so many of you, but I think we all have our own personal reasons to why we want to do something more than the average person, right? And if you don't really identify why you are here today, then how can you ask the questions of what should I do next? And who can really help me, right? And so I just want to point out that there is a journey that you're going to go on, right? And what you're going to go through in that journey is not a linear line of success. I was taught growing up, go to school, get good grades, study hard, whatever, go to college, graduate, resumes and everything, internships, get a good job leads to a good income leads to house, I can have a family and a car and everything like that, right? I was told by just following a few steps, life will continue to move forward if I just kept doing what I was told, right? But I didn't, because I believed that anytime that I was challenged, I thought that it was just a part of the process. I didn't know what it was trying to teach me. I didn't know what life was trying to help me understand. I just thought that, if I was struggling in finals, it's just one of those things you figure out, When I didn't like college, it's just one of those things that you have to suck it up. If I don't like my boss, it's just one of those things. My mom always said, that's just the way it is, right? And I've realized that I don't want my life to be that way. I asked myself, do I want to have the same life as my mom? Doesn't mean I don't appreciate her, but I don't want to live the same, of trying to figure out my taxes every single time, every year, of wondering which gas station gives me the cheapest prices, of when we can actually go back to Taiwan and visit our family, of like when I can actually go and eat out and enjoy some things, when we can go on go on some activities with my family. I wanted to have, I think part of economic freedom, right, is to be able to not have to worry about some basic problems anymore, right? And so even though my mom was, making six figures, she had some economic freedom, but she didn't have personal freedom. She was always worried about what's coming next, right? And so do you know that it's just a part of the journey, though? That as things are going to struggle, things go down, it's going to happen. When you start something new, right? Let's see, who was it? Like Tina, right? Have you ever played badminton before?
I have not played badminton.
Have you not played? So is it fair for me to say right now, Tina, that you suck at badminton?
No, because I haven't played it before, so I haven't had any experience.
So technically you are not good at it yet because you've never done it before, right?
I'm not good at it.
All jokes aside, I don't mean you really suck. You might be very good at it, but at this point we don't know, right? You might be very, very good at it, but so far, because we've never tried, we'll never know. And I think the same was when you're trying something new, whether it's this business or, a job or whatever else in life, right? You don't know whether you're good or bad at it yet until you try it, right? And the question is not about whether or not you're going to be good or bad. It's why you're willing to do it. I never dated anyone before, but I was still looking for a girlfriend. Why? Because there's something meaningful to me, right? So the goal will dictate the attitude. And so I guess in your looking at this business, whether it's Amway, BWW, whatever it is, an entrepreneurship, right? Why are you doing it? Because you're going to fail and you're going to doubt yourself, right? But at that time that you fail, how do you overcome it? What do you learn about yourself, right? And so when people are failing, I just want to point this out that it's obviously going to happen. In the beginning, you'll think that you're okay, right? Some of you guys, do any of you have the thought of why I'm here or what struggles do I have in the business? Because if you don't, you should start to ask some of those questions, right? What if I don't have, I guess, all the questions Miko asked? I hope you had a few of those questions, because it's funny that the moment we challenge someone to think, they're shocked because it's like they've never thunk before. They never had a time to slow down in their life. Either someone told them what to do or they just ignored it. They avoided it instead, right? And so here we're going to push you. The way that I saw this business is that it forced me to look at what I am good and what I am bad at, because it revealed who I really am, right? Up to this point, I never had those questions because I was just going through what everyone else was going through. Okay. And so people usually fail because they have the wrong expectations. I'll go over each of these things later. They don't know what's the right reference point. So they have this expectation that, oh, so far the business is easy, and so I'm going to keep going, right? Or that, maybe they think, oh, I've never done it before, so it's going to be very, very hard. I don't think I want to do it, right? Another thing is they might lack transparency. They want to keep things to themselves. They don't have this habit of expressing or asking for help, right? Or they have a hard time saying no. And so they just keep on saying yes to everything without sharing their real thoughts, right? Another thing is they might have a fixed mindset. They have a hard time getting out of their old habits. As they say, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but to learn something new, you have to forget some of the old things, right? And so people usually fail because of the wrong attitude that they have towards failure itself, right? And so we really hope that if you understand that if you can identify the new perspective for yourself, then when you change the way you look at problems, then the problem changes, right? And another way to say the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. And so you could build this business, you can build something else. You are still the same. It doesn't matter if it's Amway, or you go to your job, or you go to college or a private school. If you are the same, it doesn't matter where you are. You're not going to be able to grow any better, right? And so we want to help you have the new set of eyes or a new perspective, new mindset, because that's what's going to help you adapt to the new landscape. Okay. And so when it comes to the wrong expectations, it's kind of crazy. Have you ever thought of asking someone who's not a millionaire how to become a millionaire? Or maybe that's too big of a word, but someone who's not financially free, how to be financially free. It just didn't make sense to me. For me, I had an athletic background. I don't know if anyone else, raise their hands in a way, like did sports or whatnot, but it didn't make sense to learn from someone who wasn't first place how to become first place. You know what I mean? And so it doesn't mean I didn't talk to people, but I only listened to the one who had the results that I wanted. I talked to everyone, but I wanted to be influenced by the ones who have what I'm looking for, right? And so when I looked at this business, I had to understand one thing. Have my parents done this before? If they have, to what level have they done it? And I'm not saying that they have to think the same way, but their perspective must have come from certain experiences, right? And one thing I knew is it doesn't even matter what perspective that they do have to some extent, because at the end of the day, the reason I'm building this business is for me. It's not for them. And so I have to make a decision for myself. They can give me some opinions, they can give me some suggestions, but I need to make a decision for myself, right? And so, it's like in a few years from now, some of you will become 24, 25. I know it seems far away, but trust me, from my experience, it happens a little too quickly, right? And at that point, when do you think you have to deal with money? Some of you don't care about money because someone else has been taking care of it for you, right? And so when my mom said, hey, you don't need to learn how to cook because I'll cook for you. I said, no, it's because you're cooking for me, Mom. That's why I need to learn how to cook, because whatever you're doing, I need to do one day. And so when my mom said, hey, you shouldn't build this business because you should go focus in school. But I said, well, you focus in school and you don't have the life that I want. And so I don't disbelieve you, but I also want to consider different options as well. I have to be willing to make a few decisions for myself because it's my life. Whenever I disagreed with my mom or agreed with my mom, doesn't matter. I'm still paying the bills right now. You guys get me? Whether or not you agree, you disagree, you love or you hate, whatever, whoever you listen to, you still have your own life to take care of. And so I need to make sure that I am making the right research or getting the right information and knowing how to internalize those things. Because if I don't, then I'm going to have the wrong expectation. Like my mom will tell me that, oh, well, if you just do what I'm doing, you'll be able to become a millionaire. So you should just listen to her instead because what she's doing works. But that is true, but she hasn't walked a mile in my shoes. She grew up as an immigrant. I grew up as an American, right? And so there's a little bit of a different perspective. And I personally didn't want to become a millionaire at 50. I wanted to identify maybe there is a way I can get it at 40 or 30. Maybe there's a different way that I can impact more people, you know? So let's say any of you want to learn public speaking. Some of you are like, oh, cool, I will learn. I don't know about you. When I first saw this opportunity, that was like the number one thing on my list. Financial freedom was like, yeah, like, you know, so far down. I just wanted to learn how to speak better at the time. Because why? I couldn't see myself helping other people if I couldn't even talk to them, right? And now I'm in this room of like 100 people on Zoom, talking to so many people now, but I had to just be clear on what expectation to set. And that's why it's about your current situation. I know a lot of us talk about financial freedom, but let's be honest, like how bad do you want financial freedom? You know? Tina, I mean, before you met us, did you think about financial freedom every single day, every single minute?
I didn't, but now that like I'm working and stuff, I'm like working towards that goal.
Okay, yeah. How about Van? Do you think about money all the time?
No, not all the time.
Not all the time, right? And that's okay. I know some of us want you to think more about that because that gives you a realistic point of view. But what do you think about most of the time? Do you mind if I ask?
What I'm gonna do the next day in school, how I'm gonna get homework done, if I'm gonna have time to hang out with friends or not, when I'm gonna go to sleep tonight.
Okay. And so why are you okay with those decisions? Have you thought about one day you have to go to work?
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
9 to 5?
Yeah, no, the 9 to 5 thought is, I don't know, it's almost like a nightmare. Nobody kind of want to be stuck in that. So
okay, so then why do you go to school?
I guess just growing up, that's what people tell you is the vehicle that leads you to a stable life.
What gives you the stable life? Aha.
I guess when you say it like that, it puts it a little more into perspective.
The job, right?
Yeah, like you think you're gonna get a stable job with like benefits and all that and that kind of sense of security, but yeah, it's a little different now after hearing everyone talk about it and reading the books and everything here.
Isn't it kind of weird? And I totally agree with you. But even though the idea of working 9 to 5 is kind of scary, but you're still willing to take the baby steps, like going to school and college and internships to get there. Most people are like, well, I think it's really difficult to build a business, so I'm not willing to do it. But they also say it's very difficult to have a stable life, but they're still willing to do it for some reason, right? And a lot of times it's because they're just not aware of their current situation. To say in a different way, what if you could even do better than you thought? I think a lot of people, they underestimate what they can do in the long term, but they overestimate what they can do in the short term, right? It's like when I was in high school, I thought I could play like 2 hours of video games, study for finals, text all my friends, and read manga all at the same time. Anyone that can relate, I don't know, but that was me. Like, man, I can do 20 things and finish all this within 2.5 hours and clean my room and be there ready for dinner, But to think about my future, I was like, man, I'll be happy if I just buy a Prius or something. Very underestimating, nothing really too big and like lavish, just wanted to have a very simple life. I didn't think about my potential. And so a lot of us, we have the wrong expectations. We thought that we couldn't get any better than where we are today. So that's why we make decisions to play very, very safe. Or the other way, we thought that we are really bad. And that's why we can't even think about the future. And so you have to be able to look at it from a very realistic point of view. Just because of where you are today can change your future. It also can stop you from going there, right? And so a lot of people just got stuck because of that. they didn't even fail. And so they kept on failing because they just only looked at where they are today, or they couldn't identify exactly why they're there. Okay. And so those are some of the wrong expectations. The second thing is a lack of transparency. There was someone that I knew when they joined this business, that here's the thing. They were so excited to do the work. Here's the problem, that they were too independent, right? Slock, if you know, Slow, can I get a 1 second of your time? But why do you think being too independent is not a good thing? Because we were raised to be being like independent is a good thing, right?
I think it might be he or she was not as willing to be collaborative or cooperative with.
But why wouldn't someone want to collaborate?
Because if you're too independent, then you're going to be less open to suggestions, or you won't be as willing to listen to other people.
Why do you think someone doesn't usually like listening to other people, or why do they feel like they don't need to? Do you ever yourself have something like you're very independent, like when your teacher gives you homework, you try to do it all by yourself?
Yeah, sometimes I just try to go ahead of the assignment.
And then what do you usually find out when you skip ahead?
That I don't understand it as well.
Okay, right. But then what do you need to do next?
So I just need to pay more attention or
Like ask for
listen
help,
more.
right? Yeah, pay more attention or take more notes, ask for help, right?
Yeah.
And so when we talk about like the lack of transparency, a lot of times because people don't even know that they should ask for help. It's like asking for help is kind of almost a taboo sometimes, right? In my culture, at least, you know, you don't want to become an adult and then later on ask your parents for money again. You know, you don't want to turn 30 years old and then go back to your parents' house, right? And so there's always that fear of, oh, if I'm too dependent or I become dependent, then it's not a good thing. But why don't you be dependent for a short enough time, right? Like as a baby, you have to learn to crawl before you can walk, and you have to learn to walk before you can run. And so most of the time, people are trying to learn to run before they've learned how to crawl. And so when you're too independent, the problem is you can only get to where you are with your current abilities. And so here's the thing, when we say transparency, it's about, can you share that to us? Most of the time, people don't like, or like they prefer to be independent because they don't want to look dumb. Can you believe that, Shlok?
Yeah.
You feel like yourself, you sometimes have that feeling?
Yeah, for sure. There's some friends of mine who've also thought I've seen it play out that kind of way.
Yeah, it's hard to be looked at as kind of dumb, right? Like I remember always being the one who had a question to ask in class, but I would never raise my hand unless someone else raised their hand first, you know, because I don't want to be that first one. I don't want to be seen as weak or something. But my mentor has told me that only the strong ask for help, right? And only the ones with a big dream ask for help. And so when you're too independent, it just seems that you can only see things for yourself, right? And when you can only see it for yourself, you will not see your blind spots either. And so when people quit this business, most of the time it's because they try to do everything without any help. And so they have no clue why they failed. And so it's like saying that, oh, you know what? I'm going to quit this business or quit this gym. I'm going to quit this gym because I've tried for 6 months and I'm not losing any weight. So I'm going to go to a different gym instead. Is it the gym itself that changes their health or they're losing their weight? No way, right? And so it doesn't matter. It's the same attitude at work or at school or in this business. If you're too independent, you will not go too far. And that's because they don't know how to leverage our mentorship program, right? The 360 degrees of mentorship. The way that I see it, life is like a Christmas lights. You know, Sam, have you ever had Christmas lights around your house? Ever see what happens when one light bulb goes off? No, go break one right now. I'm kidding. Right. But usually they're all connected, you know? And if you're a science nerd like me in physics, they're all under one circuit, haha, you know? So if you break one bulb, all the lights go off, right? So same in life as well. If you shake one part of your life, it affects all other light bulbs. It affects all other parts of your life, right? When I got into a relationship, when we were fighting, it affected my ability at work. It affected my ability to study. It affected my ability to even enjoy for some time, right? Some people will be like, well, that's why I don't want a relationship right now. So they push it away instead. To me, it's like, well, I'm going to have all these areas in my life anyways. If I don't learn how to toughen up, then I'm going to struggle when it does happen to me one day, right? I prefer right now, when most of you guys are young, when you have the time and the energy to make as many mistakes as possible under the right guidance, right? My mom asked her coworker one day, because her coworker was asking her, hey, my daughter, I don't want her to go drive yet. She's still under 18. I'm very worried to let her go drive. My mom asked her, well, she's going to end up driving anyways, right? So would you rather her start learning how to drive after she's moved out of your house at 18 to go to college? Or would you rather her learn how to drive when she's still at home and you can watch her make mistakes? Which one makes more sense? The second one, right? Because at least you can make sure your kid's a good driver before they leave. And so it's good to make mistakes when you're not too independent and when you have someone who's guiding you. I felt like up to my point in my life, there was so many mistakes being made, but no one was watching me, and I didn't know how to leverage someone's help. And that's why I thought I was doing a lot of work, because I looked at how many years or how many months or how many hours I was spending, but I didn't look at the effort I was actually putting in, right? Am I really that focused? Am I really putting in amount of time? And so here, guys, the point of the business is to help you understand how we can duplicate. And so if you're too independent, if you don't know how to find your own problems, you don't know how to ask someone else to point out your problems for you, then you're missing the point of having a long-term duplicatable business, right? And so most people, they just want to go build a business fast and put in a lot of time, work really, really hard. But they don't see is how are they working smart? Is what they're doing going to last very, very long? And that's why I always want to check with my mentor, because I want to see is what actions I'm taking today going to lead me to financial freedom. Right? And here's the biggest one. Any of you heard of delayed gratification before? Madhu, oh, you're in Houston. Cool. Have you ever heard of that term before?
No, first time actually.
First time. What do you think it means? Delayed gratification. Sounds like punishment.
To be honest, I don't know.
Do you know what it means to like gratify?
No.
Okay. So it just means to like reward, like congrats, right? Like a congratulations, gratification, kind of a similar idea, right? So to delay gratification usually means to put the happy stuff aside, put what makes you feel good aside for a short term. That's called delaying it, right? But why do you think we do that? Can you think of any example where putting something that you enjoy away for a short-term period actually helped you gain more results?
No, I don't.
So are you usually the type to just do whatever you like to do? Nothing wrong with that. I'm just asking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Here's an example. When I wanted to really play games, I had to put it aside so I can study for my finals. I'm sure you've done that before. Now you're starting to like connect the dots. You're like, okay, that makes sense. You know, if you want to have a six-packs, you know you can't eat all the carbs you want in the world anymore, right? So there are some things that you really, really enjoy that you can no longer keep doing. And so here's the thing: is someone was in my business for a while, right? And here's the thing: is they wanted to do everything at the same time. They wanted to have a successful school career. Nothing wrong with that, but they want to be successful in school, successful at work, successful with their friends, be a good son, you know, be there with their activities and passions as well. They wanted to build their business. Where do you see the problem is right now, Madhu?
The problem, wait, can you repeat that for me? I got lost.
Am I talking too fast? Don't
Yeah,
worry.
kind of.
But let's say you're pursuing many things at the same time. You know, again, it all makes sense, right? You should be a good son, be a good student, be a good employee, be a good business owner, be a good friend, be a good boyfriend, you know?
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. But is there any problem you see with that?
Yeah, you're doing too much at once.
Mm-hmm. Why would you say it's too much? Shouldn't we always do more?
I mean, there's a limit to how much we could do per day, and you need to prioritize what's going to help you in the long run more.
Mm-hmm. So what's the limit that we have? You said there's a limit per day. So what's that limit called technically? What's that resource? Time, right?
Yeah. Yes.
No, that's true. Because I have a bucket list as well. You know, like I have all these different values. I want, you know, an Audi IA. I want to go to Dubai. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to every Asian country, whatever it is, right? But we have a limit called time, of course. And so ideally is, when can you put in the best time for yourself so that you can give the future that you want, right? Because here's the thing, I saw it as an opportunity. If I'm willing to put away 10 to 15 hours a week so I can build my future, so that I can have 40, 50 hours free because I no longer have a job anymore, then I would have more time to add into my passion than I would have trying to doing it after work every single day, right? And so to me, if I wanted to pursue my passion, like I love engineering, don't get me wrong, right? But to me, that's something I would love to do full time, and I wouldn't want anyone to tell me how to do it. Usually the thing you want the most, you have to give up a little bit in the short term. Because what's stopping me from pursuing my passion, do you know what that is, Madhu? Time and money. You give me 20 of your problems right now, and I threw $1 million on 19 of them, I'm sure they're all gone. The only thing left is maybe you need more time to fix your health, whatever it is. And so I knew the main problem isn't that the business or whatever else is stopping me. It's that I needed to figure out this money thing. It's not that I like money, but it's apparently the biggest bridge to be able to pursue the life that I want, right? I don't know if you've ever had that feeling, but I wanted to play games so badly. I was addicted to League of Legends, but if I knew, if I just finished my homework first, my mom would never complain about me, you know? It was just when I didn't finish my chores, she always got mad at me. I know that sounds very immature, but kind of zooming out into a bigger view, if I took care of all my responsibilities as a son, father, husband, everything is taken care of, why couldn't I pursue anything else that I wanted? And so the question really is, what am I willing to give up right now? Here's my example I want to share for you is that I know I wanted to build this business, right? And if I want to have success in this business, I don't want to just hit it once. Shluk, I know you've heard about the word platinum, but do you want to have success once or do you want to have it every single year?
Every single year.
Now, what's the difference between the two? What do you think is going to be the difference?
One is more frequent, or
the hardest one is the long-term one.
Yeah.
You will never see until very far away, right?
Yeah.
Let me give you a better example. Let's say you have a dream house, but you built it wherever you want, or it's just a random spot. But the problem is that spot, the foundation is very weak, like very soft dirt. Every time you built the house, it fell back down. And so you could build a house every year, but it falls back down and you have to rebuild it every single year. Or you may have to spend 2 or 3 years to dig out the dirt, to measure everything, to put in the concrete, to let it set, to put the rebar, whatever, to develop a very, very strong foundation. And the whole time, like Mika was saying, you're just putting in this concrete. You're like, where's my freaking house? You know? But you know that you're doing this because you want to have a long-term success, a long-term house, right? And so after a few years of delaying building the house, you haven't even started building a house yet. You have this, but you have a solid foundation. Now you can build your house on it and it can stay there for a very long time, right? And so I knew that one day I want to be traveling, right? But how can I have money to travel if I'm always spending money to go and travel? You know what I mean? How could I have time to travel if eventually one day I don't have enough time because I'm going to work all of the time? And so I knew that even though I'm in my early 20s, anyone you hear like, you're in your 20s, just have fun. Once you hit 25, you have to like start being an adult or something. You know, while you're in college, enjoy life. YOLO, you only live once. You know, don't miss out on anything. Go to every single rave, go to parties, enjoy. Don't worry about it too much. While you have the time, enjoy life. I'm like, no, while I have the time, it's time to grind so that I can enjoy the rest of my life. Most people, they put a limit on their happiness, thinking that they'll only be happy until 25. After 25, you have to be a responsible adult and life sucks at that point. But I don't think that's the right attitude. I think having a family in the house is something to be proud of, not something that it sucks your soul out every day, right? And so that's my feeling of, okay, I know I'm going to hate paying my mortgage or my car or not being able to travel or not being able to enjoy life later. So why don't I figure out what's stopping me from getting those things in the future? And I have to figure those things out today. And so for a long time, every single year, you know, I mean, like Sam, is there a place that you want to visit? One country or something?
Yeah, I'd like to visit the Philippines.
The Philippines? Is it that where your family's from?
Yeah.
If your mom offered to pay for your ticket every year, would you take it?
Yeah.
You know, for 7 years, my mom offered me to take me back to Taiwan. I told her, no, I'm not going to take it because I want to go on my own money. I want to earn my own right. I want to prove to you that I can take care of myself as your son. So since I was 18, I said no, even though she offered to pay just $2,000 for her is no big deal. Because why? I want to be able to afford going for the rest of my life by myself. I don't want mom to always be there to pay for me because one day, I mean, it sucks to hear, but she will not be around. And so I chose to make that decision. I delayed it so that, sure, for 7 years, 8 years, I will not be able to go back. But after that, for the rest of my life, I'll be able to afford it. Don't you think it's weird that some people, they want to go to Hawaii once in their life? Not twice or 3 times or 4 times. If I could just go to Europe once, if I could just go to Japan once, that's not the right attitude. You know what I mean? You should go back many times. But what's stopping you there, right? And so same in this business too, because they're trying to do everything at the same time. They want to travel, they want to go to be a good school, get a good job, everything. They don't know how to create success in one area that's going to give success to all areas, right? And so I put some things in my life aside, traveling, fun, you know, social life, family time, and everyone was upset with me. But one day when they need it most, mom is going to be sick. I'm going to send her to the best hospital ever. If I'm somewhere in New York, my mom says, please come home tomorrow. I'll book the $2,000 next day flight. I don't care. Money is no thing to me anymore. I want to be able to be there for my family on a Tuesday morning. That's why I make some hard decisions today, so I can make the easier decisions tomorrow, right? And we cannot help you with those things if you don't share how you feel about it. Like, I know it's hard to say no to your mom or dad, right? It's hard to say no to family dinner, but one day you're going to leave the house anyways. And so if you don't figure out how to get time to build your business, then we cannot help you either. Because I don't know what else is going to give you time to build your business, right? And so again, to summarize, when we say lack of transparency, there's just so many things that people have the wrong attitude about, but they don't tell us about it. And so how can we share the different mindset? You know, there's a picture I didn't bring up, probably should have brought up today, but if I looked at a 6, Sam, you would see a 9, right? From your perspective. You know what I mean? From one side, it's a 9. From one side, it's a 6. And so if only I could just drag you to my side physically and you would see how I view the business. But it takes time. I need to go to you, talk about this example, show you how someone else solved it, go over why it makes sense, ask you a few questions, help you guide yourself from one mindset to the other. But I cannot do that if I don't know the way that you think right now, right? And so don't think of lack of transparency as like a way to control someone or to make you share things about yourself that you don't want to share, but it's so that we can understand how to help you better. Okay? And so most people are failing because they don't really know why they fail, because there's no one there to point out their mistakes because they're hiding them. Mentorship is not about showing me your good side. It's about showing me all of your flaws so that we can get better together, right? Last thing is the wrong mindset. Here's the thing, guys, because I think I said a little bit earlier, but no matter what's happening, life is not going to ask for your permission to change. You're 18, 19, you're going to be 25 and you'll have 25-year-old problems. You're going to get married one day and you're going to have marriage problems. As long as you're alive, you're going to have problems. You know what I mean? The only one that my mentor told me that there's no problems is when you're living in the cemetery. And so hopefully none of you see that very soon, right? But life's going to happen. And so you cannot, even I dislike change. Don't get me wrong. It's comfortable to stay the same. However, things that are going to change no matter what, right? Who here wants to study tech? But then 5 years ago, tech was very hot. It still is, I guess. But 5 years ago, no one talked about the thousands of layoffs we're getting right now. When my dad started doing tech in like 1990s, it was all about hardware. Now it's all about AI and software. Things are going to change no matter what, right? And so it's not about the change, but what are you going to do with that change? Change is the only thing that's consistent in this world. And so how could you learn how to resolve those problems? And so I know you dislike change, but if you don't change, something will force you to change later on anyways, right? I don't like going to work, but one day I'm going to be the best employee ever because I have a wife at home and a kid at home who needs the money and the food, right? And so ideally, you start to understand that concept now so that as you're young, you're willing to make a few things that you don't like to do today so that you can have the option to enjoy the things you like later, okay? And the last thing is, is you want to take initiative because it's better to be a warrior and a gardener than a gardener in a war. You don't want to wait until bad things happen to start to get strong. At that point, it's too late, right? You want to get strong now. Dig the well before you're thirsty. And so, yes, the way you're thinking right now, the way we call it a fixed mindset is you're like to stay the same. You have the same perspective. But when it comes to a new challenge, you have to find a different perspective. That's called a growth mindset. When I looked at me and my mom, we weren't actually in the best relationship, but I said one of us is going to have to change if we want the relationship to change. Make sense? But who is going to change more likely, my mom or me? I knew it was not going to be my mom. Any of you try to make your mom listen to you? Never works, So I knew I had to be the one to change. And so, but I started to text her more. I started to, it's weird. I never hugged my mom ever. It's just our culture. The way you show love is through a bowl of rice. But I just wanted to be the change in that relationship first. And so I started to hug her more, started to text her more, started to take more selfies, whatever it was. So that way, when there was a tough time, I knew that we'd have a good enough relationship, And so in the business too, you're not going to like doing something with the products. You're not going to like talking to people. You're probably not going to like to get feedback, right? But if you don't get feedback from me today, you're going to get feedback from your boss. And one of them is going to fire you, not me. I can't fire anyone in this business. So rather you take the initiative to ask how you can change the way you think today than to wait for someone to force you with the threat. If you don't change, then we might have to lay you off. And so I started to get more feedback from my mentor. I started to ask for more change because I much rather live the life that he has than to listen to someone else tell me how I should live my life, right? And so hope that makes sense. I know I'm going a little over time, but anyways, I'm the last speaker. You can't do anything about it. Okay, but lastly, this is Socrates, the triple filter. Just want to share with you is that you're just going to get a lot of information. Whatever we went over today is not going to be enough. So I just want to equip you with some common sense, right? Other people are going to say things to you, usually because that's what works for them. I don't think anyone is inherently trying to lie to you or try to harm you, but just because what it works for them does not mean it works for you. And so when they say something to you, you have to ask yourself, is it true or not? Is it good or is it useful? So when my mom said that, hey, you shouldn't build this business, I knew she was just sharing it from her perspective in what she was going through in her life and her experiences. But one thing is for sure, she was in her 40s. I was only 19. I have a lot of room for failure. She wanted to play it safe. I knew if I want to do better for my family and change our legacy, then I have to take a little bit of risk, right? So was her concern true? Yeah. Was her concern good? Yeah, but it was not useful. And so you have to be clear, right, on knowing how to filter what's going through your brain. Because a lot of people, they just fail because they fail to do this. They don't know how to think for themselves. Whatever people tell them, they do it. They cannot look into the future. They don't know their own strengths and weaknesses. I hated talking. I was the most introvert of introverts. I wore sweaters and jeans. Like anyone could look more computer science nerd. That was me, right? But, and jokes aside, I don't want to stereotype myself. I knew that was not who I was meant to be. It's just who I was up to that day, right? And so again, you're not always meant to be who you are today. You're meant to be better. And so don't just stay where you are. And so I hope you start to see like the reason people fail is because the way that they think about problems is wrong. And if you don't expose that to someone who has success in this business, then we cannot show you how to succeed in this business. It just makes a lot of sense. If someone is going to be an A student, I'm not going to ask the C student on how to study. And so maybe their opinions make sense? Sure. But how come the C student says the test is hard, but the A student also said the test was hard? There must be something in the way that they think differently. And so I don't want to just listen based off of results, because someone's failure has no bearings on my success. Your life, maybe you made a few mistakes. And if I could just avoid those mistakes, I shouldn't fail, supposedly. I just need to get the right reference point, okay? And so again, I just want you to end up with these 3 questions in your mind, right? Is for when you're looking at this business, is it legit? Is it worth it? And am I willing to do it? Up to this point, hopefully you've realized Amway is a very legitimate company. If you haven't, please go ahead and go Google everything. There's going to be some good things and some bad things. Funnily enough, when I looked up Apple, they had about 500 lawsuits against them. Currently, there's going to be good with the bad, right? And someone told me that if you can just get 49% of the people to hate you, you could become president, because 51% of the country agrees. And so to have an opinion, you're going to have other opinions against you, right? And so how could you filter out what's legitimate and what's not, right? Is it worth it? Do you even know your own values? People question my values so much because they don't have their own. You don't know if you want to be a father yet. You don't know if you want to be financially free yet. You don't know because you never worked before, right? So how can you identify it? Well, look at the ones that you don't like. Do you like the way that people live? Do you like the way that people talk? Do you like how young people now are very, very lost these days? You know, do you want to inspire others? And so to me, it was worth it, because not the problems that I was dealing with, but because I saw other people's problems that I wanted to solve, right? And lastly, are you willing to do the work? I mean, what else can I say? You can't learn how to swim from watching a YouTube video. There are some things you're just going to have to jump into the pool and figure it out. Right. And so if you're not willing to make some time to read, to listen, to come to some meetings, you know, the same way that if you got a job, if you're not willing to commit to their schedule, they're not going to change their 9 to 5 to fit your schedule. Right. There are some things that you're going to have to be willing to do first, so that we can show you the better way to think about it. Yeah. And so hope that helps, guys. Just want to kind of equip you with these 3 questions as well. People fail because they don't have the right mindset. They ask the wrong people, the wrong expectations. They don't share. They don't ask for help, right? They're too independent. They're not willing to be transparent. And lastly, it's just that, as I said earlier, they just don't know how to think for themselves, you know, over here, right? They have the wrong mindset. So again, hope that helped, guys. I'm going to bring it back to our really awesome host, Tobias. Hope you all have a good evening and make the right choice for yourself and your future. Have a good night.
Wow.
Wow, just think about it. Oh, let that sink in, guys. Let that sink in. Right? Beautiful sharing. Beautiful sharing from all 3 speakers, and especially Jeff sharing, such a person who are on his way to become financially free and on his way to help other people become financially free too. And he speak out of wisdom, out of experience, like all the things that he's been sharing. I think that not can only applicable in this business, but it's applicable into all aspect in your life. And I know that you guys been sitting there for the past 2 hours, learning a lot about all this beautiful topic and dig so deep about this business opportunity, so you can see the bigger pictures of this Amway business opportunity. I think that you guys did such a good job committing into learning and make a good decisions for yourself, so that you can make the right decisions for your future and for yourself. So before I want to conclude this amazing second look meeting for tonight, I just want to announce some upcoming amazing exciting events for you guys. So the first events that we're going to be having is next Tuesday. We are going to have a business team evaluations by none other than Chi-Hun. So this speaker has also at the Q12 Platinum in the business, and she's going to be sharing with you guys some amazing knowledge for both can about this business opportunities. So make sure next Tuesday, April 4th, all of you gonna be able to hear from her about the amazing knowledge that she has. Then the next event that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, also such an exciting event at the end of April, is going to be Spring Leadership. This event is the events that you're gonna be able to actually understand a bit, actually apply all the knowledge you learned today into your business, where you're going to be meeting all the successful people, seeing their lifestyle, seeing them in real life, also seeing your team and get your questions answered, learning some new knowledge. So, I'm just going to let the video about this speak for it.
And that in this great country called United States of America, we have the equal right to become unequal because of the free enterprise system. See, you cannot have economic freedom unless you have personal freedom, and you can't have personal freedom unless you have economic freedom. Now, everybody in here that, honest to God, believes the Amway opportunity is their best shot for overcoming their economic problems, on your feet a second. Let's see who it is.
All right, so that's the event that's gonna happen the end of April. Then I want to announce this amazing event that's gonna be happen the whole June, and it's gonna after that it's gonna be happening in May. So we are going to have a beautiful trip. All right, so tech team, please ready the video. I'm just gonna play the video.
Let's go!
All right, San Diego, everybody. We are going to San Diego. This is an amazing event that we got. Each of us, those who are able to come, gonna be able to come to San Diego and enjoy all the fun things there. You know, how you gonna get there, talk with the person who are working directly with you. But this is going to be the exciting event. Just like we said on each Tuesday, the business is gonna take you places. So we are going places, and San Diego is gonna be one of our amazing destinations, just like you said. So if you wanna be in this event, talk with the person who are working directly with you to see how we are going to that event. All right, guys. So I hope you guys are excited for all the upcoming events that we have, which I am really excited for San Diego and the functions coming up. All right. So with that, I will be concluding our second look meeting for tonight. Hope that you guys learned a lot from tonight, from all our beautiful speaker, and go home and make the right decisions for yourself. All right. So with that, thank you everybody for attending today, and have a safe trip to your bed.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you.